Good. How are
Hey,
you?
good man. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, no worries. I'm actually very glad that we're doing this. I was not expecting any press for a while, but that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
awesome. Cool. Yeah, so our podcast is all about your journey in music and how you got to where you are now and starting, Chunk no Captain Chunk. And we'll
Yeah. All right.
cool man. So the band started in Paris, correct?
Yeah, actually, we're all originated from France. I grew up like next to Switzerland, actually.
Oh, okay.
And then came to Paris for my studies. It was, I don't know, it's like 15 years ago now. And yeah, I don't know, we if I remember correctly, we met up with the guys in Paris, and we started this band out of like, I don't know, a few parties, I guess, being drunk, and just realized that we were all like listening to the same kind of music and everything. So we started jamming, and but we actually started some as like not a joke, but like just to have fun. Like there was like nothing serious about it. So yeah.
Sure. Wow. Well, how did you get into music?
Actually, I started with the piano. My actual instrument is the piano. So yeah, I started like this at like 12 or something, and yeah, I've always been very very interested into music, songwriting, producing, like all of that. So yeah, my brother started guitar as well, and then he joined the band later on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about it. Started with like very with traditional piano songs, classical and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then when the punk rock trend came in, just took that train.
Sure. What was the first band that you started or joined?
Well, if I remember, I think it started with like Blink 182, Yellow Card. I remember like that whole like
Oh yeah,
period of time, like,
sure. That
and then
early 2000s pop punks. Yeah,
absolutely, yeah, that was a big part of my journey with the music, and yeah, like then we started listening to like metal and hardcore stuff, and so that's actually somehow how we started the band. We were just like all of the guys were listening to like very pop punk stuff mixed with like metal influences. We're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's try to mix those two and see what happens. But
there
yeah,
you
it's pretty
go.
much it.
Very cool. So you said you moved to Paris to continue with school, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Like
I
go to
graduated
college
and
area.
in high school, yeah, and then we did like the yeah, university pretty much, and started studying law, which was weird, but I have my degree, just
Really,
to
you have your
just
law
to please my
degree.
parents. Yeah, but
Wow,
fuck it.
that's amazing.
uh, like in France,
What
university
law?
is so I have a degree in private law.
Okay.
But I it's not like a 5-year degree. It's not like what we call in France a master, but it's nothing like mastering something. It's more like a 3-year degree,
Mm-hmm.
but still specialized in private law and all that stuff. But what happened was that I I was doing my third year at university, and then we got this opportunity from Fearless Records, and we're like, this is like this is a turning point. We have to choose what we got to
Sure.
do with our lives and everything. So, and everybody in the band was at that point also like, so yeah, we took that opportunity, and
Yeah.
we actually made a song out of it, which is called Taking Chances, and that's pretty much what it is.
Oh, really? And is that's on the Something for Nothing record?
That's the part of my French
Part of my
record,
French. Okay.
and yeah, we had to have at least that topic,
Yeah.
kind of.
And that's such a good band, such a good album title.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you.
I love it. Right on, man. Well, tell me about getting signed to Fearless Records. So how does the band start? Like, how do you meet the rest of the guys, form the band, and then obviously get to that
So
decision?
it was in 2010. Yeah, that's pretty much 10 years ago. And so what happened was that we had our first album released by ourselves in the first place.
Okay.
The album Something for Nothing. And, you know, like I said, like there was like nothing really serious about that album. There's just a lot of fucked up songs, you know, and
Mhm.
with like fucked up lyrics, and you know, but it was just fun to do it, and we did it. I don't know. In the end, like it worked pretty well, at least in our hometown.
Mhm.
And then you know, you remember like MySpace and everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, totally.
we we needed some sort of layouts, like for all the artists page. They needed some sort of a layouts for their page with like visuals and stuff, graphics, and
Mhm.
you know, so I remember we hired this guy from Ohio, I guess, from Ohio, yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, hey guys, I like your music. If you want, I can design your MySpace page and everything." And he was like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." He actually did a really good job at it. He
Uh-huh.
was really good. And in
And
the
he's
end, he was
from
like, "Hey,
Ohio. Ohio?
Ohio, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, here in the States?
yeah, yeah, in the United
Yeah, that's
States, yeah."
funny.
And we're like, we're very happy with the design and everything. And it was like, you know, guys, I have a small label, and if you want, I can get you signed on my label, and you know, I would be glad to release your album. And we're like, yeah, fuck yeah. And for us, that would be a great opportunity to have some sort of exposure in America, because otherwise that would be hard for us, like a small French band, to get some exposure.
Mhm.
And yeah, he released it, and it did very well with the release. And then a few weeks later, like at least it was right after, honestly. I think it was like 10 days after that. He That guy got in touch with Fearless Records, who was very interested in signing us, and do some sort of a re-release of that same album.
Mhm.
And uh and the guy was really excited. He was like, "Yeah, okay, you guys have to do it." Then we got a manager, a booking agent, and everything happened so fast. Like within few weeks, we got everything: the huge contract, the label, the booking agents, and everything. And then I remember back in March 2011, uh, uh, we had our first tour offer for touring the United States, like full
Mhm.
tour. And then we got like the whole rest of the year planned for touring, for press, for everything. So everything happened very suddenly. But yeah, that was when I think about it, that was such a insane period of time, really.
Yeah, wow. Well, so oh my gosh, so this person found you, or you off MySpace? They found you on MySpace? Is that how
Yeah,
he originally found you guys?
yeah, I can't really remember how it was working in MySpace, but I remember it was like, you know, like MySpace was huge for bands anyway.
Oh yeah,
But
huge.
I remember that yeah, we would get in touch with this guy for somehow. I don't remember if it was him or us who got in touch with him for that, like
Mhm.
for designing that our page at that time. But yeah, yeah, definitely MySpace.
Yeah, so but he ends up putting out your record and you say it started to take off from there. Like what were you seeing, like when you say take off, like what were you guys seeing as far as traction? You know what I mean? Because there really
Yeah,
wasn't
so
Spotify and everything back then. So you couldn't really see in real time, I mean, so to speak, uh how the
yeah,
record was doing, but then Fearless Records comes to you. So obviously it was doing something.
absolutely, yeah. And so the name of the label is it's still a label that exists. It's called In Vogue Records.
Mhm.
I think they got like bands like Moth to Flames, or Can't remember the
Oh, wow,
bloody
okay.
new and all of that. Yeah, actually, for us, it was like, obviously we didn't get like a lot of sales out of that release through In Vogue, but I mean, nevertheless, that was still really good. That was still really good, and we did not expect that, like,
Sure.
because if we would have released the record by ourselves, it would be just only within the French network,
Right.
distribution network, and it would be just like shitty, and just just to play a few shows here and there in Europe, but we would have never get some exposure outside Europe. So yeah, for us, really, the starting point was this, really, In Vogue.
In Vogue. Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
So then you get signed to Fearless. And
Yeah.
at this point, you said that you got to tour and do all these big things. What was the first thing they did for you? Did they re-release the first record,
Yeah,
and then did
absolutely.
they push
Like,
you on the road?
exactly. That's exactly what happened. So they wanted to re-release, repackage the whole first album. We
Hmm.
did a little bit of work on the track list, and it got also remixed by Andrew Wade, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, the we redid the artwork and everything. So that was kind of almost like a new album. Now when I think about it, I think that's one of my big regrets, is like, I wish we could have re-record that first album instead of just doing like some sort of a remix.
Oh,
um
sure. Re-recording the
but
whole thing and then having them put it out that way.
yeah, but I guess they were like kind of in a rush. They wanted to put us on the road very quickly, and
Hmm.
yeah, we got our first tour in America in 2011, summer 2011. Very excited. We got our working visas and everything. And yeah, like I said, that's from that day, from like that summer 2011, that was just nonstop touring. And when we were not touring, we were in the studio writing songs. So yeah, it was kind of a journey.
Yeah, for sure. And that second record, Part of My French, you guys just did like a huge re-release on that album, didn't you? Or like a new reissue for the vinyl.
Yeah, and I'm actually very, very glad that Fearless did it, because Pardon My French was really the album that sets us as a professional touring band.
Hmm.
Because like I said, that first album was started. It's kind of it's a funny album, and we when we listen to it now, it's like, like, we were teenagers, we were we didn't know what we wanted to do exactly, but we did it, and started off as a joke, and it got us very far, though. But Pardon My French was really the album that sets the sound of our band, and kind of like, yeah, it puts us in a more professional position.
Hmm.
And we took a lot of time and efforts to actually think about what our sound, what is our identity and everything, which was cool, because that happened after 2 years of touring worldwide. So we got some sort of a maturity out of this.
Hmm.
And you can hear that there's a big step between that first album and the second one. But yeah, I'm very glad that Fearless did it, just because for us that album means a lot of things. A lot
Hmm.
of things. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. What was the first tour that Fearless put you on in the United States? Do you remember? Were you like opening up for someone?
Yeah, we were. So let me remember the name. The headlining band was a band called In Fear and Faith.
Okay.
Um, and there was also Vanna, the band from Massachusetts,
Uh-huh.
and there was, yeah, there was a bunch of small. There was A Loss for Words. Yeah, it was a mix of like pop punk and hardcore
Hmm.
and also metalcore bands. We had like a pretty good spot actually for a first tour in the United States. But again, we could have been like the first band written in very little.
Yeah.
Like we would have been like, very, very, very happy no matter what. So yeah, such a big, I don't know. It was like just remembering this, it brings back so many memories,
Yeah, I mean, how exciting was that? I mean, you get a call, you're on Fearless Records. They're giving you visas. You're flying to the United States. You're gonna do like a whole tour. Like, was that your first time out here?
Actually, no. I was with family in New York a few months earlier, but that time was the first time though. But yeah, it was, like I said, everything happened so fast. Like we didn't really have the time to understand and realize what was going on, but that was insane. Like, and we could feel there was like something in the air. Like we were just, fuck, let's like I don't know, this is a life-changing thing. And we knew that somehow, we knew that everything was pretty much planned for, at least 2 years for us, so, which was insane. And we got like tour offers like almost like every 10 days. We got like new tours offers, and pretty big tours actually. So yeah, that was insane, really.
Wow. And you said, Pardon My French was like a turning point for the band.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, in that whole process of the record and the touring cycle, what was the biggest milestone from that album?
Well, the thing with Pardon My French, like, so we got in the studio for Pardon My French in January 2013. And the funny thing was that the album was not even recorded, but we had all of 2013 planned already. I mean, for touring, for festivals, for I mean, everything was planned. Like we had like a very, very tight schedule, and it was very exhausting because I remember we got out of the studio at the end of January. We knew that the album was in good hands and everything would turn out great. And then we got right back on tour, and then we started this huge like world tour. We started with Japan. We did all Asia. Then we did a Soundwave festival in Australia with like Blink 182, Linkin Park. Like that was huge. And then after Australia, we would go back to the United States and then start this huge tour with The Day to Remember, which was right back at it again. And we were on a roll, that was non-stop. And the downside of it though was that at the end of this like huge run, like we got so exhausted, like so exhausted, that even if there was like so much happening and everything that was insane, but we got so exhausted that we could not really enjoy our journey at some point. So we took a little break. I think we got like all summer 2013 just to take a little break, just because we would have died.
Sure, yeah, go. I mean, wow, A Day to Remember, that band has been massive for such a long time. Those crowds must have been crazy.
Yeah, also that tour was their sort of comeback. It was for the Right Back at It Again album. The tour was called Right Back at It Again. And it was huge because they got really quiet and silent for like at least 2 or 3 years. So there was a huge huge crowds. Like it was all sold out, and it was, I remember at least it was like 5,000 cap venues, so it's pretty big.
Wow, that's incredible. And wow, very cool. And then from there, you guys did Get Lost, Find Yourself. And what would you say like the milestone from that record was?
So Get Lost, Find Yourself, we were like in a different sort of mindset. We were very happy with everything that happened to us so far, but we needed another turning point in terms of maturity. We wanted to make our sound evolve in a more mature way. So, and actually the title of the album is actually very relevant and accurate, because that's really what we did. We took some time before going into the studio to write songs, find maybe a slightly different musical direction and everything. It was a very interesting journey, but definitely not in the same. The dynamic was not the same though. Still very enjoyable, and we toured a lot out of this album as well. But yeah, that was quite a journey.
Right on. And then from that record, what do you guys have going on, currently?
So what happened was that we did a Warped Tour in 2016, and the label wanted us to do another album, which would be our fourth album. And at that time we were like kind of exhausting from touring nonstop for like almost 8 years.
Sure.
And also we were at that point in our lives where we needed to take a little break, get some time with our families, get our personal lives together, and that was really needed at that time.
Yeah.
And we took a break for like 6 months. I think we told our label managers, okay, give us some time, we're gonna come out with like another great album, just let us breathe a little bit. And that's what we did. And I remember we sat down with my brother at our parents' house, jamming all day, trying to find new stuff and everything. And at some point we were like, okay, we had good materials, but not good enough. I mean, that would not reach our expectations, in terms of songwriting. So we're like, let's just give it some more time, and we'll be back at it when we are ready. And in meantime, we also started a business, and started to settle down a little bit more. And yeah, actually it took us almost 3 or 4 years that we haven't done stuff. We haven't done anything. But 2020 has been, even if it's been rough so far with the pandemic, we felt that should be the year that's the right time to come out with new materials. And yeah, so Fearless is actually wanting a new album now. And that's probably not going to be released in this year, but the next in 2021. But yeah, we'll be back at it.
Very cool. Yeah, have you been able to use this like quarantine time to get stuff together for a new record?
Actually, that's what's got us started pretty much. So
awesome.
So actually, no, the real story was that we were supposed to work on new materials because we had some festivals in Europe planned for earlier this year. And in January, the label was like, hey, what about writing new songs, and then you put these out before Slam Dunk Festival, which is in the UK, which was the one we're supposed to attend. And
amazing lineup on that. That festival always has such a dope lineup.
It's really the best in the UK. It's the best memories over there. Like, we did it 3 times already, and every time it's a blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were supposed to do that, and we had like 2 songs ready to go, and then the fucking pandemic comes in.
Sure.
And yeah, so the label was like, hey, what about writing more, and then you come out with an EP, for example, and we're going to put out by the end of the year. And we're like, okay, yeah, I mean, we have nothing better to do, so we'll just do that. And the pandemic's still here. In Europe, we're starting to like closed down again. So I mean, it's not like the actual lockdown that happened back in March, but it's still pretty critical. Yeah, I mean, our business is on pause. So we have nothing to do, and we got in touch with the label, who told us, hey, now let's make it an album, and we're gonna release next year, and hopefully you'll be able to play some shows out of this one. And yeah, and I'm in the end, I'm actually pretty glad that we're doing this. This will be like a legit comeback, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear some of the new stuff, and hopefully soon enough this will all be over with, and we can get back to seeing shows and all that. So what about like live streams? Have you done any of those?
Actually, we thought about it. The only problem we had so far doing this was we could not gather the band. We could not get together because we have our bass player who is living in Portugal right now, and there's like some traveling restrictions, so we could not even get here. But at some point this will happen. Actually, I'm working in a recording in a music studio, and we have a whole setup ready for that, actually. So
cool.
we might do it at some point when we manage to get together.
Sure. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, dude, for taking the time to talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, I have one more question. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
So I would say that, when like I said earlier, I was supposed to be a damn lawyer at some point in my life. But I've, music has always been my passion. And, even if my parents were like, hey, you gotta be serious with your life, with your studies and everything, I took that chance. I seized that opportunity of like doing just playing music, doing some songwriting and everything, and make a living out of my passion. So I would say don't be bothered, or don't let the others tell you what to do with your life, with your music and everything. Just do whatever you feel right. And that's what I did, and that took me where I am right now. And even if there's a goddamn pandemic and lockdown going on, this will come back at some point. I mean, people needs music in their lives, so there's always gonna be a spot or room, even if for it's aspiring artists. And yeah, do your best, and feel inspired. And actually, the pandemic, I feel that with the pandemic going on, a lot of people got really inspired. We got a lot of new artists at our studio, just that wrote some songs when they were like sitting at home and everything. So I guess the best way to make out of to turn the situation right now is just to do that, I guess. Bring it backward.